sunshine into love, and I can keep on dreaming. Something like the spaceship from above, and you give me that feeling, yeah. I feel I'm so excited. I feel so good, yeah. I can't describe it. I feel I know the music will keep me dancing, yeah, keep me moving. I can tell you something just for free. I hope you catch my meaning. I'm not here to waste nobody's
Well, Vilgax back on it. It's been a long time. Mother is back. We back on the mic, and we're back with a brand new, crispy, clean SHOWDOwn. Mark, let me check the watch. Mark 14. I'm here today. We got doubles. First of all, we got doubles. Big doubles bracket coming up for you. And I'm here with PJ the Puff. I know I'm around the block here and there. PJ, how we feeling?
I'm doing pretty great. You know, I love Southeast Asia. It's my favorite region. I'm Southeast Asian or partially Southeast Asian myself. So whenever I can commentate one of these brackets, it gets me really excited for what's to come, especially because, you know, Brawlhalla can tend to kind of stagnate sometimes in the meta, especially in the middle of the year. But SEA always comes out and does something really exciting and very different. And that's what I hope to see here today.
Yeah, at bare minimum, if it's not interesting in the meta and the character selection, it's always interesting in terms of gameplay.
Yep.
SEA loves twos. I know there's some experience at some twos one tricks, I dare say. A fair few of them. Taxi used to be, not anymore. Taxi's low-key him nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, C loves twos. So this is gonna be an explosive set of games where we're doing like top 4, top 6, something like that.
Top 5, yeah, just about. So
top 5.
We're getting like the upper sides of the bracket, and this is where the matches I think get the most exciting. So I'm really excited to see who's going to be able to take this one. Shout out to NSIG for putting on a twos bracket before the officials come out around the corner pretty soon here.
Beautiful stuff. Always shout out Sandwick
Yep,
for the beautiful production and the beautiful caster selection, if I may say. But PJ, what match we got up first? What are we cooking with? What are the people?
So we got taxiivation and Vortex, a very consistent team of recent. They won Winter Championship for Southeast Asia, and they also won Spring Championship for Southeast Asia. So Vortex and taxiivation are right now the best team in Southeast Asia. PR number 1 and 2 and C number 1 of the bracket. On the other side of things, you got KeithThePooPoo and Yuzu Hiku, which I'm struggling to find on my stat tool, but maybe that's a different. Is that Lapum? I'm not too sure. Maybe it's not. I know there's a lot of people have been mixing up their names just to make my life harder. Personally, that's why they do.
Yeah, make our life harder, the production and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of bad production, that was my fault. Hey, everyone in the audience, make sure you turn off your phones for the viewing.
You know what? That's a great idea. I'm going to also do that. Yeah, my phone was also on, but it's a little bit later in the night for me, so hopefully no one's calling me. I don't have enemies, so I think I should be fine in that sense.
World's loudest notification. Hey, that's how you know it's been months. But let's see if anything's changed in terms of the map selection since I've been gone. We got the bands up, and we're going straight to Western Air Temple for the first game of the stream. Start cooking. I'm seeing the triple axe, so it looks like not much has changed since I've been gone in terms of twos. But I was warned of the Kaya and the Terrors in twos. But let's get straight into it. Game 1 of set 1 of the stream.
It's going to be a great one here. And like you were saying, we're going to see triple axe on the screen, and Kaya Teros being the best team in the compositions right now makes it so that those heavy weapons are going to be so good. Or you pick up a spear, either Wushang or the Kaya, and you see taxiivation and Vortex immediately get right to the work with the double axe, getting a lot of damage here. But Keith has been really good on the Amethyst so far, getting some nice damage on the stand.
Yeah, big saves also coming out from teammates respectively. All big conversion coming out. Taxi whipping the sail, unfortunately, that could have been huge. Not really sure if it would have KO, but huge. Staying off the side, trading for both teams. Big nasty down sig.
Tries to just put out an active hitbox, catch him in the corner, doesn't find it there. I like that from taxiivation, very much so saving, kind of in waiting and trying to save his teammate, but didn't find it there. He gets his KO onto Keith, but his teammate takes KO in the process as well, barely not KOing their high defense stat.
High defense, high speed, classic Kai stuff. Big conversion coming out. Taxi unfortunately getting in the way of the follow-up, or of his own follow-up, I suppose. Keith blocking the 1v2. Uzu already back. Big save coming up from Vortex.
And I'm surprised Keith was able to find that KO onto taxiivation. Usually taxiivation really hard to pin down, especially in the 2 space, even on a legend like Teros.
Taxi's movement, crisp.
Yep.
A slippery little fella. Huge Sair punch coming out from Vortex. Another huge Sair off the map. Locked in the 1v2. That's going to be a huge conversion. The GCD light Sair, they're coming out actually.
Yeah, not KOing quite off the top. I like the attempt though, obviously, because you're closer to the top blast zone, the side there. But that side air will find the KO, and Keith going off stage with the cannon in a big way.
Oh, reverse with a ground pound. We're seeing the blue team making a lot of use of separation. Obviously, both teammates being so damaged in that exchange that you just you send one off the map, 1v2 the other, and you just repeat on cycle.
Big N-Sig, the
Somehow
Mammoth
not
comes
picking
out.
up.
Yeah, I was surprised I didn't find the KO, and it's going to be a big opportunity once again. The blue team holding on to these stocks barely and doing so much extra credit. Weapon tosses come out, but we get a landing ground pound to find that KO, and a side stick from taxiivation makes it a 2v1 now. Very, very difficult 2v1 at that.
It's actually crazy. I could have sworn that that everyone was like kind of healthy on 2 stocks for like a long time. I didn't realize someone was nearing death, so to speak. Really knocked out fully. We'll see this valiant 1v2 attempt coming out. Although a 1v2 against these two is like not the easiest task, I'm gonna say it. Picks up 1 stock though. That is a start. Patience on the platforms. But now that Taxi's back in motion. Vortex opting out to not end life for whatever reason. But Uzu, on their final legs here.
Okay, side stick hitting his own teammate. The side sticks are coming out now. Maybe getting a little bit of fun in this game number 1. As that M-Light will close it out for taxiivation, and Chronix taking game number 1, looking really, really solid. I love that best friends forever tag from taxiivation there to kind of match Chronix. That's sick.
It's wonderful. You love seeing the power of friendship prevail. Keith, maybe underperforming slightly, maybe getting bullied a little bit. maybe I can't put too much shade on him. Especially because I feel like it was healthy. I feel like I saw him on 2 stocks pretty decently healthy, and he just vanished twice over in the blink of an eye, especially on the side of the map. But you reckon we're gonna see a little map change here? What are we thinking?
I have to assume so. I think that well, it's funny because I was gonna say I think Taros is really good on or Axe Legends are really strong on Western Air Temple, but then again, I think they're strong on most of the stages, if not all of the stages right now.
All of them.
Clearly the best weapon. So we go over to Demon Island, we remove the soft platforms, potentially giving you an opportunity to punish Phronix, who is kind of hovering in the air. Obviously, with the Rocket Lance, you want to kind of use those platforms to refresh your resources, then weave in and out and find your whip punishes. A lot harder to do so when there's no soft platforms on Demon Island. But we get into game number 2, and hopefully Keith swapping over to the Patrick Star can make something happen here. Oh,
no, that's a legendary pick, obviously. Huge things coming out. Big conversion coming out from Phronix. Oh, that could have been nasty. Honestly, it kind of was. There's a lot of damage tacked on. Keep off the side. The 1v2
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, the N-Sig off the sideline is crazy.
True combo, true KO, and the side light into the side air as well, and on the hammer to put the exclamation point with the D-light into side air. And the blue team, the PR number 1, the seed number 1 of Southeast Asia, clearly showing why they are absolutely steamrolling right now.
Yeah, showing the millions of hours they have in the rank 2 skew on display. Picks up a KO though. Let's see if we can get some real estate on this 2v1 situation. Taxi is unfortunately back, and with a weapon very quickly. Paid BMG for that one, of course. On the doll.
Absolutely. Skins make wins. You get the weapon spawns exactly where you need them, and taxiivation looking to assist his teammate there as Phronix is on his first stock. Still the D-light sider from Keith is smart, but Keith getting whip punished for the sider, even hitting his own teammate, but disarming Keith in the process. Keith in a bad spot, fights back unarmed though.
Taxi just missing out on the third follow-up with the recovery. Oh, saving Vortex though for just about no reason. Pretty sure Vortex was a corner there. But they have the 1v2 situation. Yeah, that's a good win though. Phronix doesn't miss those. Never in their life did they miss those.
Yeah, this clearly, I mean, I've seen them win events in the past, but they look extremely dominant, very, very practiced. Love to see the practice pay off. They are absolutely putting, Keith on notice right now. Keith is PR number 4 and 3 with HRZZ. Doesn't look like it, but they take the stocks there and make it a little bit closer of a game. If the red team are going to do it, they're going to have to find a very cheesy KO early, but you can never hold it past Kaya Taros to make it happen.
Yeah, also getting a very cheesy KO on a Taros can sometimes be unwise, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get reversed at a moment's notice very easily. But obviously they're gonna have to fully taxi there. But Keith, it's not looking too good. D-light hitting both. Actually gonna pick up the KO, which is kind of crazy. And line off the side. Minimal options. The GCN protection.
I like that weapon toss from Taxi, trying to call it the jump, but once again in a 2v1 where Phronix is like, I'll give you the 1, bro, you want it? And then Taxi is like, I don't know, maybe just win here. The Nair to the side, it doesn't connect, but yeah, this looks all but over.
Oh, definitely. Taxi staying in the back, safe and sound. Oh! Yeah, that's gonna be it. Oh, that was way more of I feel like that was way more of a dominant game. Taxi put on a clean. The conversions these two have is it's quite satisfying to watch. Genuinely, like, in any region, the conversions they get are just like mechanical. So they're just like clockwork. They're so nice. Always on the money. Only missing out on very, very few of them, which you can give them some grace for. But altogether, such a well put together match. And I'll see if any legend picks come out for this last game, or potential last game of the of this set here. See if Keith and Vortex can pull it back.
Yeah, they're gonna definitely have to pull up the stops, and they do it by matching the team comp of the Terrace Ogrim. Everybody above 40 levels for sure. So a lot of playtime on everybody in this. But I feel like if you're anywhere near professional level in Brawlhalla, you have your axe legends are usually relatively high level. Everybody spends some time on that axe, and many were sent to destroy it, but most join it. And we see it here as we get a quadruple axe last game for this winners finals match.
Yeah, very much so, and obviously the classic shot of the French flag on the base skin Ogrim, as always from Phronix, is a huge shout out.
Some things never change, and we see it here as we get into game number 3. We see the repeat of the stage in game number 1, but quite different legend swaps as we get a mirror between the Terrace and the Ogrim to start.
Phronix coming in there. Phronix came in there to lessen the potential conversions and the team combos. See, ooh, these stomps are going ballistic right now. Sincerely, there's a bit of laddering going on.
I love when Keith is able to just kind of sit himself on the platform there with the lance and just get so much damage on these end lights and side airs. Anything that gets in the area of Keith, kind of like a Venus flytrap, you land in his mouth and the jaws clamp down, and you find KOs very, very early.
Oh, this is gonna be an easy conversion. Picking up 2, fell into. Genuinely, that was quite Venus flytrap actually. what a perfect analogy. Oh my god.
It's exactly what you want to see on the rocket lance. You're just like literally waiting for somebody to flash in front of you, and then you immediately just hit him. And most of the time on Ogrim, it'll find a KO.
Ooh, big on the side. Oh, that's brutal. Barely coming back to the dodge. What a conversion off that there. And the second coming on the side from Phronix. That was brilliant. That was actually incredible. Ooh, big side sig. Separating him a little bit as Keith comes back to the fray. Keith already on one stock, by the way. I don't know quite how that happened. Phronix and sig at the top, and gets sent off the top immediately in response.
Okay, D-light there, but no conversion in the side air or the
air.
Taxi
got off lucky there. I actually pays him back with the KO, which is really unfortunate for the red team. That's why you can't be lacking on conversions. That's why you gotta hit those. Like that. Already some solid damage for like 50 odd. Huge Keith sent off the side. They got the double edge got coming, but Vortex off for the Oki. Parries it, sends it back the reverse.
Yeah, and right now Vortex is definitely like, you need to see this output on the Terros. It's exactly the legend that you would expect to get all that big damage, but it ends up being Keith who's really pushing his advantage, but it's not so easy to do so when you're on your last stock. That's going to find the KO off the top. As I say that, Vortex with the side charge and sick tax evasion. Can you make it back here? The weapon toss in this stage, and his teammate was unable to save him, but now Yuzu and Vortex in a bad spot there, able to make it back with double exclamation points. And this 1v2 is not quite too.
This is very feasible.
Yeah,
very feasible. Oh, huge neutral heavy. I would say that was a rare miss from Phronix on the save there. That was actually not gonna put that in the highlight reel for sure. Let's see if we can put a 1-2 in the highlight reel.
That should be.
Look.
They drop
the
it.
miss. Hey, Phronix doesn't miss those. Let me tell you that.
Absolutely not.
Coming back. Ugh.
The patience from Phronix to not swing with that end light there, realizing Keith is definitely going to try to jump away to the soft platform. It's good utilization. Goes for the GC end light, but N6 doesn't find it, and Keith gets the cider on the rocket lance to force a game number 4.
Lesson learned. Everyone in between, children and all, just copy your opponent's team composition. It will actually work out for you. Scrap every time. Any unique thought, get rid of it. Play this right now. Play whatever they're playing. Get in their heads, break the mental a little bit, and then you'll find success. That is generally a fantastic tip. And we're seeing Air Temple get banned actually. I'm assuming we're gonna go back to Demon Island because there's only two roams and all paths lead to either or. And we're seeing no change to the team comp, which is shocking to nobody. Because why would you?
Yeah, I mean, when the team comp works out well, it's going to be. I mean, obviously you swap to win, and I'd like to remind everyone at home, you're literally one swap away from winning BCX. Just keep swapping on loss, and eventually it'll work.
Yeah, 100%. Just keep trying. You throw things at the wall until it sticks. That's what happens.
no better time for it to sink the winner's finals here as you try to make a reverse 3-0 comeback. You see the red team and the blue team both take pretty risky spots off stage. taxiivation going for the full ground pound extension, and there Phronix is saying, I'll show you what an Ogre can do. Gets the lance recovery, but he's showing it off as well there.
Yeah, honestly, I was surprised that Vortex was the one that got KO'd in that mix. I swear Taxi was in the blender for a while, the coffee grinder. Oh, Taxi missing the conversion with the recovery unarmed. Huge. Phronix quite healthy. Okay, a bit of commentators curse, nothing new there. Oh, reverse off the top by the stomp there. That was massive.
So early. That's such a big swing
Yeah,
for the red team, and oh my goodness, Keith puts taxiivation in the Vortex as well. No pun intended, as his teammate is Vortex. But still, sidelight into Cider comes out, and taxiivation in a terrible spot here. The recovery gets charged up, doesn't connect, but a weapon toss from Vortex immediately puts taxiivation in the corner once again. And some team damage there leads to a team KO, but you're quite happy with this lead, I feel like.
Yeah, 100%. Red team, again, ever since the swap, looking ever so competent though, and it's still ever so close. It's going to change the waves a little bit, but Taxi's also deep on that red. Fairly deep on that red. Phronix not looking too hot either. Getting deep into that orange, you can see it. Vortex sends Taxi off to the side. Agile opportunity coming out from Keith as he goes for a rips the ground down and misses it completely.
That's so crazy. Yeah, that it's very, very difficult to find that there. But there we see Vortex getting 2 crucial hits with an air in the cider. Weapon toss will close out that stock, and now the blue team on their last stock.
The classic Adam Cool weapon toss off the side. Brilliant stuff. In there.
What a punish.
A bit of lack of synergy. Okay. The millisecond, the second that Keith jumped, getting caught by the NSIG. Hilarious.
Almost enough to KO even center stage, and now Vortex put on notice as one stock or one big hit from either of the blue team members can put this into a 2v1 that's quite impossible for your teammate. We'll see it here though. Yeah,
and obviously in a situation like this, you're so desperate to help your teammates, you're not stuck in that 1v2 situation, but it opens you up a little bit, makes you predictable in your movement, because you're not going to sit there and watch, at least if you're a competent twos player, I would hope. Both in the middle. Oh, the damage is not bad though. They've actually, this is again very feasible. Was very feasible.
Now it's a lot tougher.
Commentators curse ever so present in this sport. Big wreck coming out, D-Light.
And yeah, now Vortex. I mean, I like to. This is a PJ classic casting thing. Like one of the hardest comebacks to ever make in Brawlhalla history, and it just ends right there as Phronix dashes up forward and finally says it's time to lock in the 2v1. Dashes forward, and light comes out, and he closes out that set for his team 3-1. That's Phronix and taxiivation move forward into the grand finals winner side.
Yeah, super solid game, obviously coming from Phronix and Taxi, but also a big comeback from Keith and Vortex. Obviously, they only won one out of the 4 games there, but looking way stronger and much closer than that second game where they got absolutely whooped. And I'm gonna make a bold claim here and say that they probably don't swap off that comp for the remainder of this tournament, unless they're getting maybe a bit freaky, a bit silly with it. But
it's kind of
who do we? Yeah, go on. Yes.
Oh, I was gonna say it's kind of crazy that I kind of feel like that was pretty refreshing of a match, just because like I've seen so much in the other region that I'm low-key excited for Olgrim, which is crazy to say, like a crazy that is, if you clip this out of context, that's like a very cancelable take, I think, in Brawlhalla. But like that's kind of cool to see some Rocket Lance. Like maybe I'm just like so numb to everything now because of Kaya Teros, but hey, it's a little bit of a difference, right? I mean, you're picking up Axe anyway, but I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? Anything but Kaya and Teros, and you get me excited.
No, if you said that in like 2021 or something, like you would get, if you said that on Twitter, you get like the eyebrow raise emoji, just like spammed in replies. Who do we have up next? Because obviously we got Taxi and Phronix sitting pretty in Grands, I believe.
Yeah, we got our next match in elimination side quarterfinals. We got Le Plume and Yunpyo versus Team Itami and Hebi. Oh, Hebi. Okay, cool.
Hebi?
I just commentated Hebi in the Middle East North Africa bracket for Moose Wars today. So Hebi playing both in 2 tournaments, both in singles and 2. So Hebi is locked in, trying to make his bag and put his name on the map. That's really, really cool to see people grinding out these community events. But this should be a fun one.
You're the one grinding out community events. You got the 6 events in one weekend. You're the real hustler here. The ever so employed Peach of the Puff is what they call you, apparently.
It's just so hard to not say yes to every event when I'm so excited to be watching Brawlhalla. No matter kind of like where the scene is in terms of like the meta, I'm always excited to see how people are able to navigate it. And as we continue to see a relatively stale and solved solved metagame right now with like Taros being really solid and the Taros Kaya, especially in the 2 space, being so broken.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see people in these regions, especially like MENA and Southeast Asia, just have a completely different microcosm where, you know, there's just crazy things going on. And you like, I see right now Yumpyo, Le Plume, they're locking in the Red Raptor and the Chun-Li, so kind of a blast from the past. It could be very exciting for sure.
I actually thought that was Dusk when I first saw that. When I first saw that for a second, I haven't seen
Oh yeah.
too much Red Raptor, but the Chun-Li is nothing new to me. A classic pick, especially for Plum, perennial Wushang player. Let's see what we've got going on here.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm actually not going to say it until I really confirm it. No, I think is Sire Mena. Let me double check. This might be the highest placing. No, Sire is a Mena. This is the like current highest placing MENA team in the Southeast Asia bracket. So we got Atami and Heavy who have got 5th place at Spring Championship for the Middle East. They've only played 1 tournament together, but they're locked in and they've made a top 6 placement appearance now at this bracket. So they continue to do better and better every tournament, and maybe they'll be able to take it over Le Plume and Yunpyo, who's back from a bit of a hiatus, if I'm not mistaken. They used to be play in 2024, but they haven't of recent. So it's really cool to see Le Plume and Yunpyo make their return back into the community events.
Oh, yeah, it's lovely. I think I actually heard my agent on the inside say they returned exclusively because they heard Viliax was going to be back on the mic after months and months. So they are welcome for that. You are welcome at home for that. With Tommy bringing out a level 100 Wushang, that's something. That's scary. I think someone put it. Worrying.
I keep saying Le Plume. It's Le Plum. I don't know why I keep saying Le Plume. It's just something that I've been doing since like I started commentating Brawlhalla. I do apologize if I get your tag wrong. Please just keep making fun of me until I fix it, because that will make it better. No, seriously, like it helps if you tell me, please. Le Plume from Thailand, I believe. That's why I chose. Oh, not that I have much control over whatever goes on stream, but I did say I wanted to watch Le Plum, just because you know, I'm Thai myself, so it's always exciting to see.
Yeah, you get the representation.
My name is Plum, as in fruit. Plum. Oh, plum, like the Thai word, plum. Plum. Am I saying that right? I'm not sure. If Le Plume is, or Le Plum is watching. So I'm kind of saying it right. I'm not saying it exactly right. I'm getting majorly sidetracked right now. Let's lock back in. Red Raptor, Chudley versus Ong and Sidra. We're getting into game number 1 now. Yumpyo and Le Plum and Atami and Heavy.
By any chance, did you see the map? Is this another Air Temple classic coming out in the Sea Showdown?
Oh no, we see Suzaku Castle to start us off here. This is crazy, man.
Ooh, with them walls? Let's see it. I feel like I haven't personally seen a Sidra in a long time. I know that's been because I've been quite inactive, but I'm a little stoked. It's a bit of a throwback. Oh, this Dare on the side is a throwback. Not the news change there. Dare being the ever so present Gimp tool.
And that's a very bad spot to be in. You get hit with another orb there to refresh that jungle state, but Heavy gets right back into the game. Yumpyo getting caught with a big string there. I love that GC end light, and we see a motorcycle right back to the wall, but not for long as the ground pound, comes out.
Heavy may be suffering from what we call the Zol difference, where if you're simply playing Zol, probably would have KO'd off the side. Speaking of KO'd off the side, Yumpyo blowing the smithereens. Absolutely genius coming out. Slight lead for the red team, actually. I was gonna misspeak. Big joggle coming out. Misconversion, unfortunately. Going to the top of the screen.
Nice pickup there from Le Plum to make it right back there, and you see the ground pound attempt as well as we see the 1v1 now with the double ball into the GC sidelight into recovery. I thought he waited there and it was enough to get the KO off the top, but not quite.
I'm actually very shocked that it didn't KO off the top. Oh, the boots off the side. Oh, I thought Yumpyo was going to get a crazy conversion off that ground pound. That would have been magical.
Not quite the mark you need to hit. Nice side sig there from Atami. That's really, really important to get Plume off stage and split up Yumpyo, but Yumpyo fights right back into the side leg, into the N-sig, and we get a D-light into side air. Not enough to KO, and the Plum risked it all there with that DC side leg. Tried to find a KO. Doesn't find it, but you're still up. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, Yumpyo, I don't think you're going to make it back, so it was a very low risk, moderate reward, I suppose. Very intelligent play. We'll both call it with Sare. Nothing from Hazard. Oh, big. This is going to be huge damage. Oh, it's going to be the KO.
2 for 1 combo.
Oh, Yumpyo escapes with their life. Woo. Close one, but obviously huge damage coming out. That was a magic conversion. It was the, can we get slung up the top? Oh, that should be... Oh, somehow not getting a KO.
Man, even on Suzaku, I was really worried that he wasn't able to make it back. And Tommy getting sent off stage. Heavy has to go for an early recovery, and it gives enough time for his teammate to make it back. The recovery comes out again.
Okay. All right.
Now it comes down to a 1v1. MENA versus Southeast Asia. It always comes down to this.
I hope to see no bias towards any of the players on screen right now. Let's see it.
Let's go, LaPlum. No, Heavy gets it there. That's a really good juggle start.
Let's go, Heavy.
LaPlum in the corner, yeah. It's absolutely neck and neck. The end light comes out there. Side light into Wade. Gets in there. Finally, a down air as well. That's a big extension on the gauntlets. But Heavy just needs one big hit and maybe a Sidra signature. And we see the very smart trap. Ensig into end light. Is it enough? No, it's not. LaPlum barely makes it back to the wall. Gets a big scoop there into the nair. Very meaty hitbox of it as well.
So much patience coming out from LaPlum in terms of a potential string on follow-ups. Of the end light saving the bacon. Heavy.
You have to sacrifice the weapon to get back, but it's not enough safety as the Cider comes in from Heavy to take that stock, and MENA wins the first exchange there in the 1v1, taking it over LaPlum to take game number 1 for their team.
Just about as close as you can realistically get it, so especially if you look at the stats across the board. Damage from both players, respectively, looking very similar. KOs and falls, as much as they can be, looking just about the same. And we're running back the map of No Religion swaps, which is fair enough. It could have gone either way. So, ooh, let's see. Shoot, that conversion, both of them getting caught up in that team combo was massive. That was explosive, electrifying.
Yeah, and like,
some would even put it.
It's really cool to see, like, you know, someone in chat was pointing out, like, it's really cool to see Sidra in twos. Like, whenever, like, really anything can work in twos as long as you, like, practice it with your teammate. And they get really cool extensions, as you said, that 2-for-1, buy one, get one free on that team combo is going to be super, super good.
Okay, a lot of stuff just happened there that was quite irresponsible. The grab from LaPlum. Heavy just barely making it back with the world's longest reaching signature. Huge. Look at the 1v2 situation. That's going to be a big follow-up. Yompyo just barely missing out on the finisher. That definitely would have sealed the deal, one would imagine.
A deep rounded round pound dead. We see another one off stage, and Tommy right back to the respawn there as Heavy has to make it back. The ground pound comes out, but not needed as Heavy loses that stock, and LaPlum is putting on some crazy damage.
That could have been huge. A bit awkward though for the red team to actually get an actual conversion team combo off of it. Let's see.
Oh,
juggle.
Okay, we see a big side stick come out, and Plum's able to get a nice hit there, but it's not quite like anything too crazy. That's a big string there, and Yumpio picks up right off of where his teammate kind of helped him out to get big downer. No one gets hit by a downer. Reversal from a Tommy. The ground pound into the recovery, into another ground pound. Heavy finding one. LaPlum getting another ground pound there. 4 ground pounds, and the stock getting lost from Yumpio to kind of bring this a little bit closer to the blue team, but the red team still have quite a lead.
Yep. Oh, a big recovery off the top. SEA infamous for the ground pounds per stock. The official statistic. Huge coming off. Well, unfortunately, Canistring picking up with a teammate. Big side light, big save.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, cannot save themselves as Heavy gets taken off the top. Like a huge recovery.
Oh, and a very tipper hitbox of it loses the sock immediately, and that's going to put a crazy 2v1 now in the hand of Heavy, who gets a nice down stick there, and you know,
but
sometimes you go out with a whisper, try to go out with a bang, try to make something happen here.
Yeah, something.
Okay, again.
Oh, hold on. A few more of those, and we might have something. Well, I'm ready with the save though. Very responsible. Very thoughtful. Big side stick. Hold on. Could we see the Chocosaurus Rex already? The second set of the evening. Could see it.
Heavy is really trying his best to make anything happen on this cannon side light and the side air. Doesn't KO, but Plum finding the side air there. Will find it as we go into game number 2, with the red team getting a big 3-stock win there into game number 3. That looked a lot better for them for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely what Heavy needed was to probably get him more cheeky little signatures, little games with the sword is definitely what they needed in that circumstance. Much more competitive that game. Huge reversals coming up. Tommy actually. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Way less competitive that game was. My bad, completely misspoke. That was absolute destruction. Mainly, definitely by way of not so much the conversion, but some nasty reversals that we saw take place. All the Bryn Terrors is coming out. Hold on. What is this 2021, 2022 comp? Oh my god, especially in certain regions. Certain regions, this is all you would see if you queued the deep dark hours of the rank 2's queue,
3, 2,
depending where you
1,
live.
brawl.
Certain areas. Same map though, nothing's changing. Which is this map is so volatile as well with the spear of Plum of Wushang. So much value you get from that dare.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a very old school comp on the blue side. I like to kind of classify Brawlhalla 2s as you're either a walling comp or you're a swarming comp, and this is literally both polar opposites. Gauntlet's battle boots, as they seem to come out on top versus the wall, they break right back through it, and Heavy Sweat Beast makes it back down. The ground pound comes up, Plum getting hit with the reversal, but he makes it back to the wall, and he gets a recovery there. Unarmed, goes for the second unarmed recovery, the exhausted one, but doesn't find it there. Charges it up to down tick. Heavy getting right to work onto Yunkyo. Nice damage there.
Oh, that was such an obvious side stick follow-up. I can't believe Plum missed that. That was very devastating. Could have potentially hit Barth with the second hit. The first one connected. Big end lights. Everyone off screen besides Plum. Now choosing the ground pound off screen.
Nice.
Recovery picking up Barth, just barely missing out on the KO though. See, Heavy makes it way back to street. The side stick just barely being avoided. Skin of their teeth. Heavy is somehow surviving with Shred L. What the side? What is with people not getting KO'd right now? Stop Sair, still not finding it. Another Sair, finally picking up the first stock of this game. 3 going up. For the juggle. 1. Yunkyo comes back and punches him in the side of the mouth. That was brutal.
Big haymaker from Plum.
Ooh. Going to the dentist immediately after, one could imagine. Yunkyo getting some damage off the top. A little bit of juggling going on as they nearly KO their own teammate. Luckily, Itami getting KO off the side. Big instinct follow-up. Well, I'm going for the edge guard, but failing. Unfortunately for them. Middle of the screen being held right now. The weapon throw interrupt is absolutely magnificent. Very clutch one. If you're getting a bit of mileage off the punish, as we see both teammates of respective players getting felled. Itami off the side, the big dash coming up from Plum. Is Heavy gonna be able to stop it? No, sorry.
I love that Yunkyo, like, sometimes just immediately swaps into, like, okay, I'm just going to keep hitting DC down sig as much as I can and try to, like, catch somebody jumping right back to the stage while Plum just goes crazy off stage. That's so sick to see. Sliding in with that end sig, the bird comes out for some nice damage and a little disruption as Plum holds onto his stock here. They're both on their second stock only, so the blue team have quite a bit of work to do. I like that recovery to save your own teammate. Obviously, much less knockback on your own teammate. And finally, a landing sider will find that KO, but...
Plum is going for some nasty ground pounds today. Not finding many of them, but the idea is there. Yunkyo trying to take Heavy off the top. Although Tommy's going to make that much harder. The instant catches Heavy though, off the side. Tommy getting cleaned up, and Heavy getting cleaned up immediately afterwards. The double KO coming from Plum on the Wushang. Massive that was. That was huge. That wasn't last game, was it? I see.
No. Heavy and Itami won game number 1, and then so this is now 2-1 in the.
Yeah, I got sidetracked because getting a bit of a restart from one of the players. A Heavy restarting their computer, it looks like. So it looks like we get a little bit of a breather going on.
Yeah, and once again, this is a MENA team, the highest placing true MENA team in Itami and Heavy, who were both, I literally commentated them playing like 12 hours ago, so it's cool to see them once again grinding out these community events. It's quite crazy. But a great team comp altogether with the Sidra, but we see a swap into the Taros Bryn. We'll see if we stick to that or something changes.
Oh, for sure. No, I think they'll probably stick on it. It worked decent enough, maybe just a few gameplay changes here and there. Maybe stop hitting your teammate a little bit, calm it down a little bit, get the conversions cooking. But I think that was just a bit of more of a clinic coming from the red side of Plum and Yunkyo. Plum getting, quite frankly, too much mileage off the 3 million ground pounds that they were throwing out that game. The Sidra actually is coming back out, surprisingly enough. I thought that maybe at Mercy, like a compromise, maybe like a Zola compromise or something, but just going straight back completely to the sword and cannon combination. As we see here. Going to the small fortress of lions we are. Big lion energy coming out.
I'm interested to see kind of what you can change from game number 2, because game number 2, it was like, I think the name of the game is like beat LaPlum, because like he is getting so much crazy mileage off of basically anything he wants to do, whether it's on the gauntlets and getting like crazy ground pounds, or also like on the spear. He's getting like insane setups into signatures from Raptor, and they're just going off and either like getting a pogo with a down air or a side air to close out KOs. It looks so good.
Plum immediately nearly ending the stock of Heavy on the side of the ground pound, which would have been, quite frankly, a little bit embarrassing. World's biggest N-Sig picks up a hit on Heavy on the juggle. So he's separated now. Runs him with the motorcycle.
Nice recovery there, and Heavy's not going to be able to make it to the soft platform comfortably as Plum and Yumpio have great sharking options with that recovery and signature respectively. Another signature comes out with the N-Sig weapon toss from his own weapon toss into the recovery to find the KO. The N-Sig off the side from the right, and Yumpio gets a KO onto Heavy as the red team once again take a dominant lead into game number 4.
Gotta say, Heavy, a bit passive there. I get that. I get they were probably a little bit scared, but sliding up the map with the N-Sig, kind of a, especially at a time where your teammate definitely needed you, a bit unwise and originally getting a lot of mileage from it. Ooh, splits the ocean with the ground pound. Good stuff. Ground pound.
Oh, Plum.
Plum with the ground pound.
Oh!
Ooh, the spike. Oh, another one? Oh, no third.
Almost going for it.
No thrice, no thrice. We're gonna see the save here. Heavy interrupting it. No follow-up from Tommy to clean it up. The opportunity has arrived. Plum coming in for the save. You do not want your teammate to die in this circumstance quite yet. Or preferably at all. Set picks up. Yumpio sends him off the side. Race from history.
They're right back into it with Plum picking up a spear here.
Ooh,
putting a
down the
Tommy
side.
right
Plum is
back
getting
off
silly
stage.
with
Have
it.
to recover high. Oh no, but so scary, but barely able to dodge through the nair. Heavy getting a nice string there on the Kennedy and Yumpio back in the stage, but realizing his teammate might need help. So instead of going for the KO read, he just goes back to the stage as quickly as possible. That down air hitting Heavy, and Heavy unarmed puts him in a really bad spot.
Ooh, luckily Tommy's sidelight, he likes picking up both players. Not really mattering much as Heavy got sent to the hells of down under. Plum needs to get punished for these ground pounds like sooner or later. I don't know what is happening here. They're getting away with so many for free. I'm gonna start seeing some punishes on that. Or something. Maybe just ignore them and swap and start like a 2v1. I'm gonna see something. But lead-wise, looking quite dire for blue team. Obviously, they're gonna have to get a KO on Yumpio quite soon and maybe bully them the next stock immediately. Otherwise, it's gonna spiral out of control. And it looks like it's already going to.
Ooh.
Actually, never mind.
Barely able to make it back there, but
Yumpio.
landing right into the signature is such a big deal as Yumpio goes for the charge up D-Sig on the gravity cancel, doesn't find it there. And Tommy in the 2v1 getting a KO, but Plume gets another ground pound, and as you say it, eventually Plum's got to get punished for these. Not today.
Not happening.
Another ground pound to close out that set.
Yeah, I have heard some statistics. Plum landing the world record for most ground pounds landed and attempted in a match or in an official tournament or community official tournament. Honestly, still quite dominant from their team. Blue had some life in them here and there, but like Plum and Yumpio, they're looking quite nice. I don't know if they look in taxiivation and Vortex nice, but we'll see. We'll save that for later. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here. But regardless, a very well played match respectively from both teams. Quite exciting. And who are we cooking up next? Who's next on the list? What match are we cooking up next?
All right, we have. Let me look at the bracket. We have. So because LaPlum and Yumpio made it past, they do now line up into Sire and Iroro. So that should be a very exciting matchup. I believe Sire is somebody that's really, really solid in Southeast Asia as well. But the elimination side of top 4 has been sorted out as we have Plum and Yumpio and who was it against? Yeah, Sire and Iro are going to be taking it into elimination side semifinals. One more set to make it into top 4 or into top 3.
Yeah, so they can eventually verse who's sitting pretty in losers final. It's Keith and Vortex, which is going to be a tough task. I mean, Plum and Yun have been playing pretty decent. I can't really speak for the other team today. I haven't seen them play. I don't think I've seen them play today. But Sire obviously being a perennial threat in the Southeast Asian region. Been around for years and years, probably, I don't know how many, maybe like 6 or 7 at this point. Been a bit of an old man in the scene, you could say, I guess. And Arrow, ever so competent, in twos especially.
Yeah, we should get a very exciting match. This is seed number 4 and 3, respectively. So the seeding has been pretty good, all things considered. We have Plum and Yumpio versus Sire and Iro, which is seed number 4 and 3 as well. So this is going to be a very competitive match, I feel like.
I believe I don't think we're going for a break. I think we're just gonna send it. We don't breaks. We don't really need things like that. We're all business. We're all business around here. We are not going to our usual break. We are gonna continue on with the action. You know, whenever they get in the lobby and ready up, whenever that is. Cute little arguments happening in chat. Cute little banter happening.
Yeah. I'll break it down here for the people because I'm like smiling a bunch. So I don't know why, but I kept calling Le Plume, but then now that he's like, oh, I'm actually just like my tag is from the Thai translation of my name, which is Plum. Now I'm saying Plum, which is much better than Plume, which Plume is not even like anywhere remotely near his tag. So I don't know why I started saying that, but we're getting it fixed. We're gonna work on it. Vilgax is helping me a lot because he's saying Plum correctly. I'm saying Plum.
Plum sounds the way you're saying it sounds. It's giving Australian accent, like Plum or cross.
That's like that's like
Plum.
the Thai pronunciation of the word plum is Plum. So like, so you know,
it sounds very
you can't
Australian.
Just erase a bad habit. You got to replace it with a good one. So I'm working to fix that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get it going for sure.
Finally, one player has entered the lobby. Oh, sorry, one of the team has entered the lobby. Arrow. I'm not gonna say punctual, but earlier than their teammate, respectively. As we wait for Sire to join up. Yeah, not in a non-biased way. As a non-biased commentator, who do you got going into this one? Do you think? Who do we have?
So like a non-biased commentator.
Yeah, hypothetically biased, but non-biased speaking, non-biasedly. Like,
so because as a caster, my job is to perpetuate the TO side of things. I always have to root for the higher seed, so that the TOs look better and they know what they're doing in seeding. So I'm gonna have to root for Sire and Ero. If you ask PJ, like the human being and not the soulless commentator, who I want to win, I definitely want LaPlum and Yumpyo to win, just because once again LaPlum is from Thailand, my family's from Thailand, I'm part Thai myself, so I'm always rooting for LaPlum. I've really missed him honestly because he hasn't been entering events that much at the latter half of the year or the beginning of this year. So really cool to see LaPlum get back into it, and I'm working on it. I'm saying LaPlum a lot. We're gonna fix it. It's a new year for me and LaPlum. Our relationship as a caster and a player, you know, I'm gonna get his name right. He's gonna put on a good show. Let's see them win this set and move forward into top 3.
Yeah, I'm seeing this terrorist lock-in. Is this even? Wait, I guess this is them. I love when players enter as different names than what they are typically known as on there officially. Makes our jobs quite easy. Nah, that's alright. As long as you're competent in the brain, it's not too bad. But Terrorist is on screen. Terrorist Satori, which is honestly another kind of classic card, to be honest. Well, I feel like they've always been strong in twos. There's been better. There's been better in some circumstances, some metas, but pretty easy, pretty like well practiced at this point. The big year of 2025. I think everyone knows how to play these two in a twos format. It's been done to death as we go back into the Demon Island. A lot of Demon Island. But luckily, there's a spear play on both sides, so maybe we'll see some cheeky gimps on with the spear dash for both teams instead of just Plum spamming it completely uncontested. As we go into the first game, deciding who goes into the losers final to meet Keith and Vortex.
Yeah, it's Sire and Ero. I mean, we see Ero immediately start getting sent to the skies as Yumpyo gets a nice extension there with the Red Raptor. And really cool to see this comp take shape in Southeast Asia as Plum goes for a big GC end stage to try to close out a very early stock, but couldn't quite find a smart sideline. And Decider will send Sire off stage. Sire try to put out any hitboxes, but once again, the patented LaPlum ground pound not getting punished, actually leading to another stock.
It's genuinely like it's like a deer in headlights, like these ground pounds. Like it's really hard to, it's the only way I can even explain it. Oh, Plum. Massive win. Only way to explain that as well. Huge. Blue team getting some stage control. Yumpyo making it safely and soundly back on stage. Oh, the weapon throw cleaning up. Plum finally getting punished for their transgressions.
Gauntlet picks up, and that's going to be a very easy way to find a KO for Sai, who just throws at that signature and finds his connection. We see an immediate trade stock there, and I love that respawn and getting a GC downlight into ground pound off the respawn into Plum, getting a nice extension there. That's so sick. And another ground pound from Plum leads to another stock.
Yeah, look, when you respawn, it's not time to take a breather. Not in twos at least. You gotta be on business. You gotta be ready. It's a team sport, after all. Plum setting up the end line. No punish or no follow-up from Yompio, unfortunately. Double hit coming out from Sire on the axe. Huge error coming in for a bit of support as Yompio stays on the ground, safe for sound. All the options coming out from a Plum in the air. Not really paying any punishment for it though. Ooh, big Sare. D-light punish. Something. Oh, this reeks of Sire D-Sig. Oh, what did I say? reeked of it. Oh, I know my boy. I know him well. And error has been just erased from history, apparently.
Yeah, that's a Torian twos. You know, it's obviously good you have Spear, but it's very high volatility. You get KO'd relatively early, all things considered, and quite a bad spot. Fighting off a ledge though, and making quite a bit of a comeback there with the damage department. They're both on their first stock, or they're on their last stock, so it's not quite over yet. And right now he's going absolutely crazy. Finally, Yumpio getting a down air there, but Sire has kicked it into another gear and looking at 2v1 here on the Terrace Hammer.
Yeah, well, actually, I was about to say this is impossible. Yeah, I should know better. I should know better than to open my stupid mouth and suggest that was feasible, because every time you do, the match immediately ends. As Plum is racking up a bit of a schmicks kills. KO's on the board. 6 to 2 falls. And even damage between the red team here, between Plum and Yompio. Error falling behind a little bit on the damage front and the KOs. I don't know what's going on there, but let's see if they can bring it back. It didn't look too bad for the most of the match. I don't think this is like really it was just the lack of defense on the Yatori. Maybe we'll see a legend swap, as I think we do, as I see a King Knight be selected. A Sir Roland, which honestly surprised. I feel like I should be seeing again, this is someone that's been a bit busy, hasn't been keeping up so much. But I'm surprised over maybe the course of history, I haven't seen that much Sir Roland in twos. Maybe it's just because there's been generally even more brainless and even stronger options. But you got high D, you got decent stats otherwise, like decent SIG, especially in a twos context, big, pretty decently powerful. So kind of surprising to see him more. So let's see how it does.
I will say that Hughes and Lopez in South America play Sir Roland and Nash as their team right now. And Sir Roland had a lot of success in South America when we started the year again. So you're exactly right, like what you're saying. The stats are good, the signatures aren't bad. Lance can never be bad in twos, so they're definitely right on the money.
Yumpio is right on the money as they send error to the mines off the side, and Plum matching it off the top. Never stop. Big conversion coming up here. The combo never ending. Ooh. That was huge damage coming up. Yumpio staying off the side. Sire with the save though.
Plum gets away with another criminal ground pound, by the way. He
I know,
all the way,
like
racing the blast zone and then doesn't get punished for it at all.
Genuinely, like, no evidence of the crime scene, none whatsoever. Ground pound sending error far away. Plum with the save, interrupted though by Sire. Like, it's a very good stunt. Oh, the weapon throw stopping the what I assumed was going to be a D-light ground pound. It might have been actually a down heavy actually. Yompio opting not to go for the side like Saz. He knew that he was going to be in danger for attempting such a thing. Something that Plum does not have in his head. And rightfully so as they land the 90th ground pound of the set. Ooh, messing up side like Saz. We've all been there on all in there. Yompio ever elusive on this orb, I gotta say.
Yeah.
They're very, very slippery.
Oh, another
Plum,
ground pound.
oh my.
Plum, dude, like, why doesn't Plum just only ground pound out? Like, maybe they would win harder.
Do you reckon there's any other... They actually only have one input enabled on their keyboard. I've heard multiple reports from Yumpio being sent off the side, off the top. It was pretty diagonal, but off the top. Stage control coming out, Yumpio back. Oh, Plum paying for their actions finally as they are on their last stock. Very doable, obviously. Yumpio is pretty fresh on the two stocks and getting some mileage off it. Yeah, arrow, a little sidelight there.
With that side here is Yumpio. He's trying to find that edge guard onto Sire. Sire having to recover very high.
Huge
right
side
into the side sig.
Massive. They're gonna a bit of teamwork off the side. Bro, big, a fantastic move to get your teammate back to the stage. At least vertical in terms of vertical height, which is really all that matters.
Another ground pound from Plum.
Another ground pound. Beautiful. As Sire enters the domain of the 1v2. Okay, that was a very obvious stare misinput. Like, Sire is just gonna fall. And Plum and Yompio are going to take a very solid game to go 2-0 up. And I'm going to say I feel like we've been given a lot of flowers to Plum for hitting 1 million ground pounds, being very elusive, doing a lot. But that was Yompio's game, man. That was like incredible.
Absolutely.
Plum obviously getting pretty big, low health KOs, but Yompio just, oh my god, like the hit and run playstyle of just constant nares, constant sidelight, chase dodge, hitting 1 million D-ledge, just evading any type of punish constantly. That was huge, massive value out coming out from Yompio. An exciting game too, and we're seeing the Terrace Koji come out. Did we see this game one? What was the game one comp? Because I know
game one comp was same as game two comp. Oh no, it was Hattori instead of
Hattori, right.
Yeah, it was Hattori. Yeah, Hattori.
Right. So Sword obviously is in Arrow's favor. They think things have gone. I know. I would agree. I think Sword's been going quite well. And Bow, obviously, no one's gonna argue against having a bow on the team. Weapon is quite frankly annoying and very useful.
It is like it's like somehow Hero keeps picking legends that I'm like, man, you gotta play perfect in twos. Like if you get hit at all, it becomes really scary because you get killed relatively early comparatively to the field, which is very like defense oriented right now.
Yeah,
Quite
you're not
scary.
really. I feel like you're not dishing out this certain KO power that a certain legend Terrorist has to make up for it. Either way, Terrorist mentioned. We're gonna see a double Terrorist KO, and we are absolutely. The Wexford sealing the deal. Big juggles from Arrow. A bit impatient on the GCD light though. That was never ever gonna land. Weapon throw recovery. Oh, that was vintage. That was vintage Vilgax, I dare say, for the year 2022 of our award. Coming out is Sai gets sent off the side by Red Raptor.
Yeah, Yompio trying to make something happen with that sidelight extension, but the blue team, I feel like the defensive game has definitely they're trying to like come into their own in that sense as well, where they're not getting hit by a lot of these kind of cheesy KO options, especially in this game. Something there.
Finally locked in and stop getting hit by at least Gauntlet ground pound, as the spear one seems to be ever so effective. As Saya nearly picking up the double KO. Yompio just barely avoiding that. I think I might have gone the rollback, to be honest, at least on my end. But that was skin of their teeth that I didn't land. No follow-up coming out from Yompio. Unfortunate miss. Unfortunately, Yompio is quite damaged, so whenever they're going to be hit by anything with some force, they're going to be forced into a 1v2 situation, at least on the side of LaPlum, as they are right now. As LaPlum finds a KO off the top of the Gauntlet recovery. Not falling a follow-up off the sidelight. As Arrow gets the KO on the Red Raptor of Yompio.
A lot of signature buttons coming up from Plum
yeah.
there as he's trying to get something started, but he really can't find much. Nice sider there into the end light. We see a little bit of a combo with a GCN sig from Yompio offstage. Plum is taking a lot of initiative here, getting a sider on the jump as well. The recovery to punish the weapon toss. A ground pound coming in from the heavens, and it does connect.
Genuinely the heavens. Oh my, recovery, taking Arrow off the top. Sending Arrow to the last stock. Red team though, both quite damaged. Yompio got a little bit of working room, but Plum is one solid signature away from death, especially if we're talking terrorists. And especially if we're talking that one in particular. But that was on the way of Yompio actually. And the Dealer and Sig, the back-to-back KOs coming out from Arrow. Like, that was huge. The Koji pick rectified immediately. That was some magic. That was huge value. The double instant KO, you'd love to see that. Safe to say, we're not going to see any legend swaps anytime soon, not from those two, and probably not from the other team either. I feel like the legend swaps are fine. Simply play better. It's about it.
You know, dare I say, you know, Ero has a really good spear and a really good bow. I feel like if Ero locked in and played Kaya, this team comp would be like very synergistic. Obviously, they just won the last game, but like Teros Kaya is so strong right now. I wonder if this Koji pick will have the legs to move forward. But the way that Ero plays, it seems like he really likes the high dex legends, high speed legends as well. So, you know, I'm really happy to be proven wrong if we can see some variance in the team comps. But right now, I'm thinking, can we make it happen again, or did he get lucky in that game? That's my big question for
I will say,
Ero and Sire.
Kaya might be an irresponsible pick, I dare say, because I think a lot of the value that previous game by Arrow was on the sword, and we need to move on because, quite frankly, Plum has somehow already found their way near KO territory, being nearly dropped off the top. This Yompio is going crazy, another ground pound. Arrow proving you wrong. every move they make.
And I'm happy to see it. I mean, it's working out in a big way, and that's going to be very important for this team comp. You have to have Euro find a lot of activation because this is what the red team can present, these high extreme damaging combos and KO options. The recovery comes in, hits both the blue team members, but neither find the KO there.
Yeah, unfortunately, Plum honestly missing a pretty big conversion. They got the wreck, but it should have been like a pretty easy GC insig. Maybe they didn't have one. Maybe I need to leave them alone a little bit. But they got Sire off the side. Sire just barely coming back for the dodge coming back. His arrow gets knocked off the side, sent to their second stock. But Sire was all the amount of time at that health range in that particular situation. Now Yompio is being juggled by arrow as Sire has made it back to the field. Yompio going for a bit of a Plum ground pound. To no avail. Big sides are coming out. As the dealer wreck comes out from arrow to punish the mistakes. Sam missing just barely.
Yeah, I can definitely see Yumpio like trying to leverage this stock lead by getting these really aggressive side lights to start things going and hopefully get some team combo damage. We're finding the down light into side air from Sire. We'll find that KO onto Yumpio as Plum looking worse for wear on his second stock. The most damaged player on their second stock in this lobby right now. Has to play quite flawlessly versus this Teros pick to not or risk getting KO'd so early.
Yeah, but we know how LePlum works. Can turn it around with the touch of a hat, the drop of a hat. As long as you don't get demolished by any Teros button that Teros wields. As arrow's actually gonna get dropped to the center of the earth by that down sig. Brutal stuff coming out. LePlum missing the edge guard with the Sare. As Yompio, the teammate, picks it up. Sent off the side again. Plum, signature ground pound. Ooh, that could have been a big conversion, but maybe a bit too tough. This is going to be something large, extra large, huge. Oh!
Another Plum ground pound, but no, but his arrow just respecting it fully.
I don't think that was respect. I think that was fear, actually, at that time.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was fear.
I mean, the confidence to go for the ground pound and then hold it after whiff is like, yeah, they're definitely cooking something devious, and you want nothing to be a part of that. And
Arrow though, getting the care off at the top. Sire making it a 1v2. Oh, that's huge. Get it in while you can while Yompio comes back. Ooh. I don't want to jinx it again, but feasible, I dare say. As Arrow gets KO'd, immediately this is open line up for the 9th time. But look, we get Sire gets some games going.
Wait a minute, Plum's stuck in a bad spot. Oh, if that GC downlight into recovery does connect onto Plum, with Plum having limited resources, could be very scary now. But Sire, I mean, this is quite a hill to climb, as Yumpio has only 40 damage on himself there. The side air comes out as well to run up into the side light, but the light into side air will be the end of it as Yumpio forces away his team forward into the top 3 of things as they take it 3-1 over Sire and Eero.
That was something, man. I feel like the previous set of Yumpio and Plum was definitely probably the star. I think a lot of people would be leading towards saying, but Yumpio was killing it. Was it an 802 damage pickup?
802
that is not a
on
small
Red
number.
Raptor. Yeah,
Significant number.
That's crazy, especially on Red Raptor, a legend with not the greatest of strength stance. One of the lowest strength orb legends in the game, and just pumping out 802 damage, literally forcing his team forward with that 3-1 victory. Super impressive to see from Plum and Yumpio.
Yeah, just a lot of value from that hit and run orb type playstyle that Yumpio was employing. A lot of sig value too, especially it doesn't reflect it in the damage because 802 doesn't really scream gimped at 40 or gimped at 90. But a lot of early spike KOs coming on from like the D sig and all that. But they're sending them comfortably into losers final where they will verse off against Keith in Vortex. Which I actually before the last 2 games, I would be pretty tempted to say that Keith and Vortex might have it, but they're looking, Yumpio and Plum, they're looking pretty shy. They're looking pretty nice. I don't know, man. I don't know. I might back them for this actually, in a non-biased type of way, in a non-biased commentator, neutral party type of way. I might back Yumpio and Plum for this next game actually in losers final. Grand is another story. We'll see. We'll see how this one goes. But what are you thinking? What are we feeling here?
There was a bracket at SEA Showdown. I believe it was SEA Showdown 12. That was also a 2s event, and I kept calling Keith the king, and I kept like gassing him up like crazy. Like, Keith is the king returning to his throne. I just kept saying it. It was him, and I forget who he was playing with. I think it might have been Vortex, and I kept calling Vortex like the lowly archer that's by the side of the king or whatever, like Legolas. I've been like a very big Keith fan for a while. He's also my dad's favorite Brawlhalla player. So
Oh,
you know, on one side of thing, you know, that's my Guatemalan side of the family. My dad is Keith's #1 fan, and then on the other side, you know, my other half is like, well, Plum is Thai and I'm Thai, and I love to see the success from the Thai players, and Plum is a player that I missed for quite a while. So this is kind of like the clash of both of my worlds in Southeast Asia. You kind of never hope that this happens to a caster in my position, where it's like, damn, I want both players or both teams to win, but here we are, Plum versus Keith, and yeah, this is going to be very, very fun, I think, to watch.
Unfortunately, there are two wolves inside of you, and they are arguing. Unfortunately, can we get? Is Saya? I'm not sure if I made this up. Is Saya Indonesian? I don't remember. I feel like it's been a long time. Can we get a Sandwick if you want to get the agency on the phone and find out? Because I have no bias nationality wise, but I did learn Indonesian for 8 years. Don't ask how fluent I am, but I did learn it for 8 years.
So you're telling me that the Indonesian side stream is coming, courtesy of Vilgax carrying the stream?
In pure Bahasa Indonesia? Maybe.
That would be crazy.
Before that comes in, we're gonna finish this loser finals game. Ooh, I heard Sam would really enjoy that idea I'm being committed to be honest. But time to tap in as we got a mighty match going on.
I love to see that from the
Recovery
blue team. They're kind of like grouping up really, really well. We saw one person get sent off stage from the red team, and both of the blue team members immediately swarmed to that position. Really, really cool stuff. The down kick comes out from Vortex, and that's going to find the KO there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you could tell by the very distinct sound effect, but Keith has landed about 7 recoveries, exhausted or otherwise, already, and getting, quite frankly, a plum amount of value on him. That is not who you want to GC online. Definitely not. A bit too high up on the ladder for that, as a Yumpio connects with a side sig off the side.
Wow,
not quite KO at the top. Ooh, no reversal. Plum not damaged enough for that to happen. You would thankfully on that second stock, that'll be awful for the red team. As an entity comes out from Vortex to pick up the first stock of Yumpure. We'll see if Plum can pick up the first stock of Keith. Keith still hanging in there. Swimwear in there, like underwear. Off the side, Yumpure picks up the side zig. That surely KOs, and it does. Plum returns fire with the sidelight wreck. Keith and Vortex fresh on their second stocks.
See the N-Sig come out there. The big bird makes an appearance, but doesn't find a connection, unfortunately. We see some tricky team damage there. The blue team looks to get something going from coast to coast. A lot of interruptions. Yeah.
That was massive. Ooh, that could be massive too. And it will. No, big D-life coming out from Vortex. Oh, huge. Stay off the side, doesn't KO, but it's gonna leave.
Oh, what a pickup.
In a 1v2. What a whiff coming out from Keith. Hit the gym. But the sidelight stair connects, and the gym wasn't needed there. It's just dandy. As Plump is there, take the stock taken and brought to their knees on the first, or their last stock of the game 1 here. So this recovery not gonna be able to do it.
Wow.
The second recovery does it just fine, though. Big dare.
Keith now in the 2v1, the dare into the N-Sig, a high defense on the Ogrim, and that ground pound will find that stock, and now the 2v1 ensues as Vortex has to do quite a bit of acrobatics to avoid any team damage. He does do just that, though. Very nimble player, very elusive in that sense. And now we see Keith trying to land back down and get the party started with the latch. We get a D-Light there into his teammate's Nair, but okay, that was a big extension. I cannot believe Keith found that side air. He finds the side air into an immediate 2v1 situation now for the blue team.
Yeah, that would never have KO'd regularly, but just being so far and so deep off the side of the stage. It's just gonna happen. Vortex intelligently just holds down the down sig, waits for it patiently. Eats the greens first before you get the dessert. It's gonna be game 1 coming out from Keith and Vortex, and fairly competitive. Not a blowout by any means, but definitely red team could have done a lot better in a lot of different respects, which is honestly crazy because I feel like blue team interrupted their own team combos like a bit much. So I'm actually surprised to see a result like that come out. But yeah, what are we expecting coming into the second game? I'm assuming no legend swaps. Of course not from either team.
They're quite locked in on these picks, and I definitely do think that like Yumpio and Plum had a lot of difficulties getting their team combos, and I think like Red Raptor specifically, like when we see Balloon Boy and Radish, you have to be very snappy because a lot of your damage is coming out of signatures and extensions from your teammates. So if you're not getting like 4 hits with 2 signatures weaved in, you're gonna get lapped by team comps like Olgrim and Teros and Kaya that are able to just do so much more damage with the little openings that they need. I want to see that from the red team a lot for sure, seeing that combo game extend. But for the blue team, they just got to keep doing what they're doing: interruptions, disruptions, and whiff punishes is the name of the game for them for sure.
absolutely. Oh, a big nair grab from coming out from Blom off the Brute's dare. Unfortunately, not getting too much extra off of it. As Keith is chucked into the middle of the stage. Yumpio off the side. Vortex opting for a ground pound that misses and bombs their head on the ceiling. Not what you really want to be seeing. Can lead the game 2 by any means if you're the blue team. Plum floating on ground Keith. Oh, big save coming out from Vortex. Oh my god, Plum. Plum, it's exactly what you deserve. I'm not gonna hold it. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. It's exactly what you deserve. Finally punished for their crimes. As Keith back-to-back whiffs about 5 times. They finally get a net to ground pound combination. Big patience coming out from Vortex. Oh, that was an insane angle to send that, quite frankly.
Somehow he makes it back, though. And he makes it back quite quickly, even at the very deep red damage that he's already facing. Yumpio getting sent off stage as well. He's on his first stock, but you don't want to spend too long away from your teammate because now the 2v1 ensues and somehow Plum avoids getting KO'd, but it gets really scary, especially versus this team that just needs literally any straight hit to convert into a KO.
Yep, kind of like that. Oh, this is going to be a good big convert. Oh, Yumpio!
So early. Almost, though.
I mean, that was a double D-lag, right? I didn't CT like that. That was definitely a double D-lag. Or am I crazy? Maybe they just weren't expecting it. They weren't quite as tapped in as their teammate. Plum being sent off to the last stock. Pick up the KO on Vortex though, however. Side sig. Oh, this is going to be huge.
Wow.
You can see Plum go all the way in for this. Goes back, gets the jumps. Not even getting back on Lance. I think Fear had a big part of that. Yeah, that's a huge chunk of damage going on to Vortex, by the way, the red team.
Very happy to take that 0 to 88, and that's exactly what the red team needs to continue to put out this damage. The side air comes out, and Plum looking for this KO onto Vortex, but Vortex barely able to make it back with the sweat beats. Keith chasing high, punishing Plum for going for such an aggressive high edge guard sequence.
Yeah, and Keith, a bit of a stone wall bit going on right now, as Vortex is sprinting for their life. And hit by their teammate, as a matter of fact, and then followed up by the ever so present ground pound of Plum. We're going to see Plum probably kick back a lot here, as their teammate is ever so slightly healthier. But both of them, doesn't really matter what you hit by, you're going to see a conversion. I'm lying, apparently. Keith sent off the side. You're going to see Plum try and get back in safe and sound. Surprised Keith didn't get punished for that rack. I feel like it was a very dangerous position. Maybe Yumpio are too scared of hitting their teammate, potentially gimping them, and leaving them in the 1v1.
Okay, and we get the weight there, goes for the GCN sig, doesn't find its mark, and Plum is playing really, not scared, but safe, I would say. Just doesn't want to lose the stock and force it to 1v1.
Yeah, playing responsibly until they did something like that. Down sig picks it up from Yumpio. Oh my god, it's like an adult supervision type thing going on. it's like yeah, kiddo, yeah, go do your 5 million ground pounds. I'll pick up the pieces. Yeah, break every toy. I'll clean up the mess afterwards. A little bit of a kindergarten thing going on.
I mean, it's kind of like a really great way. It's kind of like one of those Lego vacuums that pick up all the pieces really easily. It's like that ground or that GC down sig from Yumpio, like kind of does it for you in a sense. So it's like, hey, you punished my teammate's ground pound, but I'm going to get that GC ground pound for you. As we see a swap off of Vortex and we get a pickup into the Devil Jin. So not quite the Balloon Boy Radish team that we see with the Red Raptor and the Devil Jin, but we do see the Devil Jin make an appearance here with the Ogrum from Keith. So I'm going to be kind of curious to see how this works out. Obviously, Vortex is going to be so disciplined and so well knowledged in all of the legend picks in Brawlhalla, so I definitely can see this finding a lot of success in this game number 3 or number 4. Sorry.
Wait, no, it's 3. Wait. No,
is
I know you're right. It is 4. No, it's 4.
Oh,
okay. You're right. 2-1 in the favor of blue team. Keith, with him being Keith in the Vortex or hers. Big damage coming out from Keith. Plum separating them, getting a big ground pound.
Oh,
huge.
another one.
Huge. That's gonna be it should have been, could have been a follow-up. Another ground pound though.
Oh, he almost gets it there too, but he gets a nair anyway, and we look the line of a fighter. He doesn't even need it. The nair sends off stage, and we go for a weapon toss, but Keith getting the very early and quick trigger pull on that recovery gives himself a stage dodge.
I can't believe that Keith touched the stage, by the way. That was incredible. Big damage comes from mid-stage on the way of Vortex. And Vortex is coming back safe and sound though. Big side sig. Oh, missing the follow-up. I don't really blame Keith for that. The angle's kind of a bit wonky, especially if you don't play with Zariel actively, which it's probably been a while since I've done so. Yumpio being separated though from Messi. Yumpio getting sent off into the heavens. Ooh, big ramp burn. Easily dodged through, as it should be, quite frankly. D-Light Sarah coming out. Yumpio too far away to follow up with that. Facing the wrong way, devastating. That could have been big mileage coming out in a 1v2 situation, a 2v1 situation rather. And Vortex is quite hurt. That might do it actually, especially if the teammate doesn't back up. But Keith, a beautiful teammate, many have said. Make sure the teammates get back safe and sound. Starlight Wreck not going the way of Vortex here. Sent off the stage, the web throw. Avoided very handedly, doesn't really matter. Yumpio and Vortex losing their second stocks.
Oh, I love that attempt from Plum, but you're literally playing a 50-50. If Keith is able to get right through it like he did there, he gets the cider to find that KO, and now the red team potentially on their tournament stocks here. They can't force this game over by the reverse trio is what's necessary, but right now Keith and Vortex don't make it look easy. The sidelight into the nair, into the immediate down air, sidelight into another nair, the damage, big swing onto Yumpio.
Another D-Light. Huge conversions, not picking up a KO, but a massive damage going off Plum. Give me
wow.
We're gonna see Plum start to play a bit more of a passive role, I imagine.
No dodge.
Great. Oh, Yumpio. I think Yumpio is just getting complacent, thinking that the KO was secured.
Yeah.
So the 1v1 situation. Oh, my bad. I thought it was a 1v1 situation. I was wrong. I had misspoken. As Keith is very much alive and very, very, very healthy. This is probably gonna do it. Ooh, and that's gonna be it, man. Hers and Keith. We don't say their last name, their full name. Slightly impolite, but picking it up in losers finals, going straight back to grands to run the run back immediately against taxiivation and Vortex. I expected a bit better from Plum and Yumpio, but honestly, not really their fault for the most part. Besides, maybe you could say Plum. I think low-key conditioned from the previous set of just getting away with every single ground pound they ever threw out.
Yeah.
Finally, just having it be dodged through and punished like semi-consistently. Finally, so a bit of complacency maybe coming out there, but still looking decent. Like obviously, and third is not really a placement anyone's gonna whinge and cry about. So I think they're fine. But back at the grands, are we? With a run back immediately. Let's see it. Do you think Keith and Vortex are gonna win the run back? What do we feel on you? Oh wait, is there another game? Am I insane?
Wait, no, you were right. The graphic was wrong. We're going to game 5.
Oh, the graphic was wrong.
Wait, I am incredibly confused right now. I do believe we're going into a game of fine with Yumpio and Plum with an opportunity to change the script. Yeah, we thought it was over.
Okay. It is not Jova.
Okay.
It is not. It is far from Jova. Wait, hold on. The narrative comeback. If Yumpio and Plum bringing this back.
This is game 5, right? Like surely this is game 5?
Yeah, this is game 5 now.
Oh, okay.
A bit of collective CTE coming out from the entirety of the N6 staff.
Me and Sandwick have been up for so long, like, please bear with us, but Nogak's locked in a fresh mind to the broadcast and saving us from being totally
get off the top.
Nice, so clean.
A fresh Australian mind. Plum. See if they can make the stock last, playing passive, getting a little follow-up. D-Light ever so slightly whipping. By the way, the dodge for coming out from Keith. Wreck just barely missing at the top. Plum is actually gonna SD from that. Perish indeed.
Okay, so the blue team having a stock lead, and that's a pretty big stock lead as well, with Keith having the Olbrum, very high defense legend, and like the damage doesn't really mean all that much. As I say that though, the N6 will find the KO. I guess damage doesn't matter at all because they just find the very early KO.
It doesn't really matter how much defense you have in the face of the commentator's first. It actually doesn't matter very much. Blue team, Aerial in the center. He's making his way back down there. Nice GC coming out from the way of Vortex. Although hers being Uzu. Very not complicated indeed. Keith getting a bit impatient with the Sarah, I might say, to be honest. It is damage, though. Damage is damage, and obviously you do less to your teammate than you do to an enemy. Well, I'm looking for a third recovery. Whiffs by about country mile. Give or take. Big NC coming out. Interrupted, though. That was a big interrupt coming out.
Well, the fact that both red team members make it back on their second stock is such a big deal, but as I say that,
Oh, shot Lansing.
Wow, what a punish. That was so clean, even unarmed there. Okay, Yimko just
simple.
landing with a haymaker immediately. Gets a downer on the orb as well, and we see Plum picking up the pieces as Yimko goes to the side stick off the top platform.
Yeah, we're probably gonna see a bit of desperation to get Keith. Maybe not KO Keith, but at least consistently get big force hits, get them off stage, so you can get the 2v1 going on while they're making it back to stage, as we see right here. And at this point, if you have to damage your teammate, so be it. Because you really do. The win condition is, the name of the game is just to get Ruzu off the screen, get Hers off the screen, get Vortex off the screen. Get all names ready. Keith finally succumbing, going to their final stock. Potentially a tournament stock.
This is the closest it's going to get. We're game 5, we're in everyone on their last stocks. I mean, the only closer we can get is really 1v1, and we'll see if it happens here as Plum gets a sidelight into recovery. Doesn't find the recovery, but Yumkyo gets a pick up on that sidelight, and we see some team damage, and the jungle continues as Vortex is now put in the vortex of his own. He finally makes it back with some
big
reprieve
whiff
on the wall. Ooh.
Oh, the wreck, sending Vortex far away off the top. Yeah, comes out. We can see a team combo. Nothing crazy, but damage is in fact damage.
Funny enough, the one time that a Plum ground pound would have been more optimal there, and instead he
actually. Yeah, it would have sent it cleanly off the stage, like 30 degrees.
Oh, the dash jump side air. It's not enough to KO though. That's heartbreaking for Keith, who loses his weapon in the process as well, and now has to take a KO here and force that 1v1. It's going to be a lot easier. The recovery comes out. Keith looking to fight his way back down, but Plum ends it with an exclamation point once again with a Plum ground pound to close out that game number 5 for Plum and Yumkyo. Holy, what a clutch.
The patented Plum ground pound was to seal it out in game 5. Officially, correctly, the game 5. That was a monstrous little set coming out. That was exceedingly close. Damage numbers close too. Definitely. I honestly, I wasn't sure where that was going to go for a little bit. I was very unsure. I was actually pretty sure that Keith and Vortex were going to take it for a game.
Was that game 4?
No. CT is not real. Someone check the replays. Someone go into the main menu.
We're 2-2. Dude, we are cooked, bro. There's one more game. We're going to game 5, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I want to. Yeah, I want to give
what is this Groundhog's Day?
No, we're both. Yeah, like Sandwich just joined the call. Like, are we crazy? Yes, we are. We're going to game 5, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it game 5?
Because what happened was it was 1-1, and then we got into game 3, right? Mm-hmm. And then game 3 happened, and we were like, oh, that was game 4. And then, or no, when game 3 started, we thought it was 2-1. So then we thought they won, but they ended up not winning, and the score went to 2-1. And then the last game they went to 2-2, and now it's game 5. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right. It's been a long day, absolutely. Please bear with us, but we are here for game 5, and I mean, eventually, if we keep saying it's game 5 for 5 games in a row, it will eventually be game 5. Like,
what is the saying? A broken clock is right 2 times a day, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
3,
it is
2,
true.
1, brawl.
Officially, game 5 now. We think. We might not be so sure. I mean, you would hope the players would know it at the minimum, right?
I mean, they're locked in, right? Like they're serious about this, so they.
Yeah. They're the ones fighting for payouts, not us. So, let's see it. Plum, naughty. Side to go for side. Save though. Well, at what cost? Oh, no cost apparently. The cost of Plum's life.
Plum ground pound finally getting punished in such a big stage here in game number 5. He goes for the second ground pound that might have not been necessary. Keith gets a reversal and then gets a KO off of it. That's a big punish and a big swing for the blue team.
That is quite serious coming out. Yumkyo. That gives some mileage off the side. Oh, that's actually going to KO off the side. Keith on their lonesome. See if they can survive this 2v1. And they do just fine, as Zuzu makes their way back onto the field.
Okay, another weapon toss there. Now Keith having to barely make it back with the sweat beads on that recovery. Another recovery.
Luckily.
Not taking it off the top, but like the juggle states are really important for the red team as well. I haven't really talked about it much, but they are very, very confident continuing to put people in the air and hold them there. It'll be very good for this team top. Nice recovery. That will find its KO off the top. Now the 2v1 ensues over Vortex, but Vortex is able to avoid and hold on to his weapon. It's very, very good stuff.
I would imagine that Uzu went for a slide off there, or at least a slide off Eli, not hitting it. Keith now in peril side of the map. Plum nearly having to avoid the weapon throw to not get gimped by their own actions, face some consequences for once. Ooh, slide charge. Gets punished, unfortunate. I mean, I don't think, even if they went off stage, don't think it would have connected. Yompyo, that was the first stock taken from Yompyo. So
Yeah,
Yompyo's doing
is
a
playing lights out
fantastic
right now.
job.
He's carrying for sure.
100%. Plum needs to tap in. Tap in a little bit. As both, I was gonna say secondary players, but that's rude and mean and incorrect. But Plum and Uzu both on their final stock of the tournament for real this time, or potential last stock of the tournament. As we see Keith sent off the side, Yompyo and Plum in the 2v1. Not any mileage though, as Keith has made it back. Plum's getting something started. Def whiffing. You would like to imagine that was probably meant to be like a fast fall there.
Oh, Yompyo going for a big, a big play there with that chase out diagonal. I thought he was cooking something crazy, but he ends up landing on the soft platform. Plum getting hit with a big juggle state, as right now Yompyo needs to take that point because Plum is on his last stock, and it will be down to a last stock for every single player here as Plum is unarmed and looking to hold on for his teammate to make it back. The unarmed recovery does find its mark, doesn't KO. Another unarmed recovery. Yompyo on the other side of the stage gets hit with the GC downlight into Cider as well, and the red team scramble to find any semblance of control as both Ciders connect, and there it's Yompyo again as well, and the blue team are slowly stealing this game back.
Plum's finding the weapon throw to seal away the deal on the side as Yompyo actually has to make their way back. Oh, Yompyo actually sealed away from the ground pound, but the ground pound's coming from Plum. Oh my god.
The prophecy
An
is
insane
foretold.
clutch.
It was 4 ground pounds that closed off the set, and the ground pound king himself takes it there with the double ground pound there, both with the gauntlets and the unarmed. Plum clutches out that game 5. And game 5 for real this time. Oh my goodness.
Oh my lord. There was like 3 seconds of like a million different multiverses of like different outcomes. That was crazy. Ooh. It's honestly miraculous that A, red team won in that exchange. B, that Plum came out of that unharmed. C, that Plum was the one that got the KO on both of them to close it out. That was, if I may say, preposterous. But absolutely lethal coming away, and Plum and Yompyo are moving on to Grands. Finally, we've been lost a little bit, but finally moving on to Grands as the night has been creeping up on me. I'm looking around my room, it's getting a bit dark. But finally, we got grand finals. We've got Taxi and Phronix versus Plum and Yompyo. Which this is, look, they've been playing good, but Taxi and Phronix have been looking mighty. They've been looking very powerful, very competent. So this is a very tall order coming out the way from this team going up. I would straight up, my hypothetical, metaphorical money would be on Taxi and Phronix for this, because quite frankly they're just maybe too nice with it.
Yeah.
Potentially. And Plum is just maybe too much of a wild card. I feel like Yompyo is pretty consistent, a pretty reasonable, consistent player. Maybe they'll have bad games, maybe they'll have really good games, but it's not because of like some devious activity. They're just like, yeah, it didn't go so well, and maybe this game it went excellent. Plum is just like doing it, just absolutely doing it. So we'll see if they get. And you don't want to be doing it too much in the face of Taxi and Phronix, because their team combos are lethal, like literally off any hit, so you want to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. And this team comp in general, and I think this is kind of like cool because Red Raptor has solidified his spot in the meta, where it's like he's kind of like this off meta pick and twos, but he's slowly becoming more popular. But like you were saying, like the wild card factor, and for sure Yompyo is more consistent, but I just think this team comp in general requires a lot of like very heavy execution and just the ability to like be in control of chaos, and it's very difficult to do that versus like Ulgrim and Terrace, which is output so much damage, do some crazy stuff.
Two walls of hitboxes. Taxi's movement is quite elusive, very slippery. Both these players. It is a tall order. What map are we gonna see here? We're gonna see we're not gonna see Lions, right? We're gonna see Suzaku or Demon. Yeah. Okay, we're seeing Demon come out here with them short-handed walls. Welcome back, Terrace and Ulgrim. Welcome back. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. And let's get it kicked off into grand finals. Let's get it ripping.
3, 2, 1,
brawl, and we get right back into it as we get into game number 1. Not quite the run back we expected, but the X factor of this very high octane red team will be a big factor, and if they can reset the bracket here, of course they'll have to reset it.
Honestly, I was gonna say quite a lot of damage coming onto Taxi, and it is. But that seemed like red, but it was like deep orange. Taxi, they're still in peril as Plum seals it with a GC sidelight. As Fronty is not able to save them. That being said, they didn't walk away with nothing. Yumpio and Plum. Oh, maybe also Plum. Ooh, Fronty's coming back just barely. Oh, scraped by the side sig of Yumpio. Big D-sig. And you gotta remember, that set took quite a while, so Plum and Yumpio are warmed up. They are hot and ready to go.
Yeah, and they played back-to-back matches too on stream, so they are very much so like this is their lobby now for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And okay, the world's mightiest D-sig off the side. The 1v2 situation, you want to get some value off this. Taxi playing it safe as can be though. Oh, this is gonna be some huge value. Oh, I'm incorrect. It's some team flyer comes out. Taxi's oh, okay. Oh, okay. I thought there was a team flyer carrier for a second, but fortunately or unfortunately not. Phronix, fresh, 2 stocks of white.
I mean, Yumpio holding his old in that situation as Plum gets his patented Nair and a ground pound and another ground pound. That's 2 KOs, that's 2 ground pounds. Plum finds these offstage interactions, and that wildcard factor is just enough. Yumpio is just basically giving layups to Plum to slam dunk there.
Yeah, not layoffs, that's something else entirely. Plum laid off onto the bottom of the university. There's a 1v2 situation comes up again. Plum already back in the play though. Not a big deal. And it's actually evened up, surprisingly, after how dire that first stock looks for on the way of taxiivation.
Yeah, this is definitely, I think, a very uncomfortable position for the red team to be in versus this blue team, but if they can get these strings going in these big extensions, but right now not looking to be able to do that as the sider comes in, Yumpio getting disarmed as well, and the side stick comes out, calls that out, and Plum getting hit by the side air from Phronix once again, and this is all but over potentially for the red team, but yeah, this is really, really tough.
This is a bit of a whiff from Taxi, probably getting lazy. Just wanted the side tick instead of the N-Sig for whatever reason. That's gonna be a weapon throw again. No, not quite.
Okay, some team damage is quite questionable. Taxiivation with the weapon toss as well, and he avoids that GC downlight, and Plum now with an opportunity once again to potentially force the 1v1, but not quite there as the end light comes out, and the blue team take game number 1 after, like you were saying, the very dire first stock and kind of that snowbally effect of the red team. All momentum has been stifled, the oxygen is killed from the room, and now the blue team are back on top.
Yeah, if you're the red team, you really do want to win that match, because as I said near the start of the game, you have that momentum. You're hoping that the blue team aren't warmed up enough, but you know the set's gonna progress, and now they're probably just gonna improve every game. So you want to get that early game to give you some leverage, some leeway going into the following games. But unfortunately, didn't happen. Phronix and Taxi looked quite warm, to say the least. Even if it did look rough for a hot second.
And this game 2 spot, I mean, it sucks because you got so much momentum. You win back-to-back sets, but then, it gets immediately stifled in this game number 1. Now we go into game number 2, and the red team, I mean, momentum and confidence is the name of the game for a team comp like the Red Raptor and the Chun-Li. You see a pickup there, but okay, that's a nice side air onto taxiivation, who's getting put on a bad spot there. He's barely able to make it back, and a charge of ground pound does get punished by a side air, but a ground pound does hit Plum. But both the red team members make it back, and taxiivation gets sent right back down with that pogo on the sphere.
Ooh. I wasn't sure if Yumpio was going to offer that for the save. No, offset for the punish. Okay, Taxi nearly wrecked his own teammate. He got rid of his own teammate, which wouldn't have done anything. I know they wanted to save him, but not quite how that works on Hammer. Regardless, though, Yumpio, the only one left on their first stock, like solidly in orange. Now starting to be red. Taxi sent off the side. Taxi is I'm not sure going to say calm down, but just get hit less is a pretty general piece of advice he can give to literally anyone on the planet. Annoying weapon throw coming out from their own teammate. Yumpio is still not kicking anymore. Bit of a 1v2 going on. Bomb, good target swap. Here we go. Satellite radio. Oof. Not getting too much mileage though, unfortunately. A rare miss in terms of following up coming up from Taxi.
Yumpio with a big read there, going for the dash forward into the down sig, looking for a dodge in or a dodge in place. The ground pound comes out from Plum anyway, and taxiivation gets hit by the orb down air. And now the red team in a very similar spot to game number 1. You cannot count this blue team out quite yet, but it's a nice little team combo there. But some self-team damage there kind of makes it tricky. It's not so clear who's going to be able to take this game quite. I need to see some big play from the red team to really solidify this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yumpio being sent off. So 2v1 situation. Fix. Oh no, Yumpio actually smacking his head on the top of the ceiling or the bottom of the stage, however you want to phrase it. And that is huge. You don't want to be throwing away like leads, any type of lead you have, especially against Taxi and Phronix. Was so lethal with it. Phronix being sent off though, could be alright. Sent off once again. Taxi's also just chronically ill. And Phronix is going to be sent off to their demise. This should be over. Absolutely. Red team bringing it back. I think, if I may say, sloppy from the blue team. A lot more misconversions, which you are not really used to seeing, especially we're bigging them up earlier. Again, we're gonna see no legend swaps. I think we're just gonna see improved gameplay and gameplay coming out. Someone has decided to cancel the voting process. I see. Hey, do what you want. Do what you want. What did someone leave? Well, I think someone might be restarting the game.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think maybe a potential weird interaction, but we go over to
we're back. We're back.
Strike somehow. Yeah, okay, we're back into it immediately. Nice.
We're back into voting. Are we gonna see a demon run back? We
Looks
are
like
indeed.
It. Yeah.
Because what else would you do really? What else would you do?
Yeah, I mean,
no legend swaps.
Everyone loves this map, and it seems like no legend swaps. They're pretty locked in on their legend selections here as we get into game number 3 now, 1-1 apiece. I am very confident in that fact, but who knows? I've been wrong a couple times on the set count so far, but yeah, it should be 1-1 as we get into Demon Island. We start off with the blue team and the red team getting big licks in there. They're very, very even damage so far.
Oh, a miss coming out from Phronix. Oh, big Axe Rex coming off as the Umpire makes it save us down to the ground somehow. Plum already hitting them, already hitting the ground bounce. Big Nair coming out. Taxi just disengaging completely, which I think is completely fair. Plum is on him.
Back on his business, man. Looking for those ground pounds as quickly as possible.
Oh, the Nair somehow whiffing. It's too stacked on him to connect. The hitbox being obviously more on the outside of the circle, so to speak. The animation. Plum setting Taxi off. You gotta be careful though. Goes back, Taxi helping their teammate responsibly, empathetically. You're interrupted by Phronix. Was a worthy trade, and Plum being the taste of their own medicine finally. Oh, Phronix does a big whiff of a big whiff of the team combo into getting your own teammate KO'd off the ceiling. You don't want to be seeing that. Very uncharacteristic from the blue team. Going in, Phronix. Yep.
I was gonna say, like, mistakes like that can lead to so much for the red team that sometimes can struggle to find KOs consistently. When you give the red team a very string-heavy team, a very simple KO on your teammate could be scary, but the blue team get right back in the game. As now Yumpio is on his last stock already in this very, very fast game.
Yumpio going to look for some survivability. You can see Yumpio already being a bit more careful, disengaging a little bit more, trying to let the teammate do the work. Even though I say that and they immediately go in because they have the opportunities to. Getting pretty solid damage from Phronix is being sent into deep orange, or solid orange. Yumpio off the side. Phronix there's a help though. The big recovery coming from Taxi. Big conversions coming out from these two. What you would expect from what is probably the most dangerous team in the region. Oh, Taxi interrupting their own Sig though. Unfortunately.
Oh, nice cider into the stage, and that even gonna KO
Big
the DC
stomp,
downlight
huge.
into cider. That's a double KO for taxiivation, as now he's up 4 stocks to 1 on Plum, who's, I mean, this is one of the hardest comebacks anybody's ever gonna make in Brawlhalla if he can do it. He's gonna be able to start that now, 1v1.
Stocks are even. I mean, what you're looking for as Plum is just a stare-off stage to see if this ends up being a death.
They got it like that?
Or not quite.
Had to be there. But D-Light Cider will close it out anyway, and a 0 to KO for the blue team to close out that stock and put themselves on tournament point. Phronix and taxiivation really locking in after that previous loss, but nothing too crazy for them, for sure.
That was more so what you would expect from these two, and it was still a bit here and there. It was a bit, ooh, I don't know, but that was much cleaner, bigger and better follow-ups and conversions. Will we see a legend swap finally? No, I'm seeing Plum locking the Wushang already, so 50% of that is no. Nah, they're gonna keep it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just play better, I think is the full quote, I believe. And we're gonna go into potentially the final game, right? The 2-1 up. being Taxi
3, 2, 1.
and Phronix. And a run back on Demon because, of course. So we'll see if Plum and Yompure have any life in them and can bring it back to a potential reset, which, quite frankly, the winner side always hates to be in because it just feels like a slog. But I wouldn't count on it because Yompure is looking in danger, especially being trapped in the corner, Plum being forced to engage and getting beat up for it more often than not. Yompure getting some mileage though. Big Says coming out, sent off the side, 2v1, a side sig, a reckless side sig, reckless abandon, paying off tremendously as actually cleans up for his team on the side of the map. Let's see. Oh, Yompure's gonna have to work some magic here. Plum getting the conversion off their opponent. Big wreck.
Another nice net landing there, but unfortunately it hits his own teammate, and both of the red team members in the 200 damage range. The side air not being able to KO Coast to Coast, but that recovery was surely taken off the top. And Phronix in the 2v1 looking to try to find that stock onto Yompure. Really any extra damage, but I can't believe that Emide wasn't enough still.
Yes, still, and Taxi getting a huge amount of either way
Plum?
for the potential Plum gimp. I understand. Honestly, I think that's fair enough to go for because the deficit is quite large. It is still quite risky, but hey, like you have to make something happen at some point. But it is quite the lead, obviously, especially against a team like this that can KO you at a moment's notice with a team combination. Let's see, Yompure trying to do all they can. They're getting a lot of mileage off every single wall hit. But I feel like Plum is just not finding their footing. It's a big combination you're going to see from the blue team. Interrupted ever so slightly. And then Sig hitting nothing. But Plum off the side of the Taxi.
Oh no, Plum in such a bad spot, but he somehow makes it back. Yompure getting the down air as well as his GC and Sig to hit both of the blue team members and getting a double KO there. Now they have a technical stock lead.
A very technical stock lead. Obviously though, Plum on this, also on the last stock, and already a bit of damage taxed on. It's obviously going to be their primary target if they can help it. That's scary. Taking away your teammates' options is never a good thing. Mid stage. Oh, this is gonna be a huge. Wait, choke of the century coming out. That could have been massive. You need that. You absolutely need those because now you've given blue team some room as DC comes out from taxiivation and KOs Yompure off the top of the universe. They got him on the side. Yompure is gonna be forced to come out the side and help the teammate Plum. Send up the side here. Side lane, delay. Learn your homework. Be optimal. Off the side here, Yompure makes it back in desperation. Try and help their teammate. Everyone's lit as hell. As Derek is going to connect on Taxi. Oh, the weapon throw! That was... I wonder if the heavens almost knocks Taxi to the side. The Sair is going to clean it up, and the Sair is going to clean it up in the place of Plum as thrown.
Oh, we drop it!
Puts him into the 1v2. And Taxi's going to clean it up, take it off the ceiling. This is the barber shop taking a little bit off the top. Little blade here and there. Little cut, a little fresh cut. And Taxi and Phronix is going to bring it back solidly and win once again another tournament and cementing another dominant performance as a demanding and in-demand twos team, especially in the Southeast Asian region. That's quite impressive. Quite impressive.
Shout out to them. Seed number 2 of the bracket getting the technical upset on the KeithThePooPoo and Vortex team, unable to make it back into the grand finals for the run back as Plum and Yompure make a big run into grand finals, but just not enough to deal with this front evasion, as they like to call themselves. They are absolutely tearing through these twos brackets. So big shout out to them. Really excited to see them continue to compete. Hopefully they can make it to an international LAN as well, because this is a very, very fun team to watch.
I would tune in for that, and I hope you at home would tune in for that too. That would be mightily impressive, but a mightily impressive showing of conversions, teamwork. Phronix, like I say, that was team player of the tournament. The amount of saves I saw Phronix get, especially in that last sequence of like stocks, the last 2 stocks, was incredible. That was crazy. Oh my god, genuinely like MVP. That was wild amounts of saves. But that's gonna do it. A shout out though the other competitors. Obviously, second place being Keith and hers / Vortex. Third Plum and Plum and Yun, right? Yompure? Wait, do I have CTE? I might have CTE. No, it's Plum and Yompure.
First place, right? Front Evasion, and then second place Plum and Yompure, and then third place was in fact Keith and Vortex.
Keith and Vortex, right? Oh, I was looking at the wrong part of the black. Insane CTE moment, but obviously shouts out to the top 3 and everyone just below that. mighty performances. Shouts out Sai and Arrow, played good as well, and everyone else that participated here today and stopping by into the stream. Shout out Sandwick. And any last words, PJ, before we head out?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was a lot of fun, and I'm always very grateful for the not only the community events that run the bracket, obviously Sandwick running the bracket as well as doing the production, but want to give a big shout out to Brawlhalla for their community event initiative. Dishing out that money not only for the players to make some money when there's not officials going on, but also money for casters as well as the TOs that run the bracket. So big shout out to Brawlhalla, big shout out to Ensig and Sandwick. That being said, as you were saying, Vilgax, I believe that does it for us. We're going to call it there. Southeast Asia Showdown in the books. Congratulations once again to Tax Evasion and Phronix for taking the bracket. That'll do it for us here. Vilgax, anything you want to say before we head out here?
No, just nice to be back. The king's back. It is all thrown in my domicile of Sea Showdown, and no, I had a lot of fun. I will be making more appearances. Okay, I pinky promise. I'll be here more often. But yeah, no, that was exhilarating. Shout out to Sandwick as always, and Ensig and all that. And make sure you stop by next month. Make sure.
We'll see you guys all next time. See you soon.
Oh.